Yeah, I would think Steve Carl's definitely the #1 guy in line. I think that he's won 2 fights, he's 2-0, impressive win over Tyson Steele. So I would definitely think he's the #1 guy. Unless my hand doesn't heal up fast enough, then maybe let.
Yeah, what happened there?
When I hit him early, I guess the doctor thinks I either fractured or popped the tendon.
Okay.
So it'll be about 6 weeks, but I need a little vacation. I've been working hard. Yeah. And I knew that I had hurt my hand when I went for the show, so that's kind of why I decided to try to get it when I could feel that he wasn't fighting the show quite as good.
Yeah, you said that wasn't your initial plan to go for the show.
I mean, who thinks they're going to tap out John Fitch?
Right, true.
That definitely wasn't even in the game plan.
You've had obviously a lot of success since you left the UFC. I think that's 8 wins and 9 fights now in that time. But do you think this was kind of like I don't want to say validation, but you showed, okay, this is a top guy in the world, and now not only do I have a streak, but it's against good guys like this.
Yeah, I think it does validate that win streak, and all my competition's been pretty stiff competition ever since I left the UFC. So I definitely think that it does that, and it also kind of comes full circle for me too. My career went up and down after John Fitch, and it's kind of like to get this one back is good for me and good for my career, and I'm excited about it. And when I signed with the World Series of Fighting, I signed with that intent. I said I'm going to come in, I want to win a couple fights. I told you that in our interview, and I want to become a featured name in this organization. And Ray Sefa and Ali promised that they would go out and get top talent as it was available, and they did that with signing Aaron Simpson. They did that with signing John Fitch, and they gave me those fights, and I'm very grateful to the organization for doing that.
Josh, Dana tweeted after your fight that he was glad that you stopped, and that Masgatti was another clueless idiot. He called him again. But what's it mean for you to have Dana still watching your fights even outside the UFC? He said much respect to Josh. So how does that make you feel?
I talked to Dana at the fights in New Jersey. Me and Dana had a really good relationship when I was in the UFC. He knew that I got injured. He knew that's kind of why I wasn't training like I was training. One day he grabbed my belly and said, that injury is putting some weight on you. So me and Dana White have a great relationship, still have a great relationship, and I'm glad that he's paying attention.
John told me that he felt the first fight kind of taught you a lesson, not disrespectfully, but he said, I think he learned a lot from our first fight, and he's seen a lot of progression. Would you feel the same way, that was kind of a turning point fight for you?
Absolutely. John Fitch fight was probably one of the biggest lessons in my MMA career. I was coming off the Ultimate Fighter. I beat Melvin. I had beat 2 fights really fast. I won Drew Fickett and Sam Morgan. Those fights were 2 minutes at the most, so I think I was overconfident, and I underestimated John Fitch, and it just taught me to be a little bit more disciplined and not quite as, high on yourself and respect your opponents. Because John Fitch at the time, I didn't know who he was, and that helped everybody know who he was after he beat me up. So, yeah. And that's a reason for this, fight too, because after the Aaron Simpson fight, I knew I had John Fitch, and I didn't put in, I didn't even start a training camp. I just started training for Fitch again because I knew it was coming my way.
Has a lot changed for you since you've been with the Pit Elevated? Did you go with them before you started fighting regionally in Utah, or was that something that just recently changed?
When I was living in Las Vegas at the end of my UFC career, and then I rehabbed here in Vegas when I hurt my neck and my back. And after that, I moved back home and I started training at Elevated. Right around when I've been, since my comeback of my injury, all those fights I've been training at Elevated. I moved home, I stopped traveling around as much, and it's, my coach Jason Mertlick, my coach Kwame, they're such a big reason for, my success, and definitely part of what I'm doing, and so are my teammates at Elevated.
What are the birthday plans for the wife?
Birthday plans for the wife. We got a pool party tomorrow at the Sunset Station, and we were going to try to make it mellow, but I think we're going to have lots of family there. And I got a nice pearl bracelet and a brand new camera so she could take some pictures, and she got the win. She just wanted to win for her birthday. And did I get too beat up?
No, you're good.
A couple little marks. She just asked me not to get beat up
just
too.
The finger.
Yeah, so I didn't have any black eyes on her birthday, so happy birthday, baby.
On top of everything, I just kind of came in here and I didn't get to the first question. Is this the biggest win of your career ever to date?
This is, I would say this is the biggest win of my career. Absolutely. John Fitch, he's the toughest fight that I've had to date. And, I said before the fight I was going to have the best performance against the toughest guy I ever fought, and I did. And I absolutely think, you know, this is the biggest fight of my career. Even leading up to the fight, the World Series of Fighting, the media, and mixed martial arts. It's amazing all the support that the World Series of Fighting is getting.